My name is Jeff Morgan. I am from Dallas, Texas. In this video, I'd like to talk about the use of gag orders that courts are using to try to silence people that are witnessing corrupt proceedings in the courts. I've been hearing more and more about this, that judges are using gag orders to try to suppress the rights of the people to speak about what is going on in the courtrooms. They are talking about abusive practices. They are talking about violations of ethics. And the courts do not want to be exposed as such, and the attorneys definitely don't want that, so they are using gag orders to try to silence people. Just today, in fact, I received a communication from a person who said, what do you do when a judge tries to issue a gag order and prevents you from using social media, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or some other type of social media, to talk about your case? On December the 6th, 2019, in the 415th District Court in Parker County with Judge Graham Quisenberry, that's Judge Graham Quisenberry presiding, I was there as a reporter for United Parents for Children News. One of the things that we do in particular is that we go into courts, we take notes, and then we provide our reports, often, for me anyway, via video. And that's what I did. I have interviewed one of the individuals who is affected by this case, but other than that, I have just been there as a reporter. I have been taking my notes, and I have made video reports, which are all published online, with more to come. The attorneys pulled a dirty trick. Now, I know that attorneys would never pull a dirty trick, but yes, indeed, it was a very dirty trick that they pulled. They wanted to silence me. As people who have been following the case with Rustin Wright and his son know, I've published about 12 videos, and I have more that I can release regarding what Judge Graham Quisenberry and his court has done to Rustin Wright and his son. They called me as a witness, and then they adjourned the hearing that was in progress, and they postponed it until March. So they wanted to put a 3.5-month gag order on me, that I could not speak to anybody about this case. So I have decided to file a complaint with the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. Judge Graham Quisenberry was fully aware that I was reporting on this case. He has not liked it. He did not want to be a Facebook superstar nor a YouTube superstar. He was upset that I had actually posted videos, but that is my right as a citizen of the United States. In response to the judge's action tonight, I just filed a complaint with the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. Now, the State Commission on Judicial Conduct is not necessarily the most powerful agency. In fact, I think they get things wrong, and I think that they're very weak on a lot of things. However, the intent of the agency is to have them review judges' conduct and to actually discipline them somehow if they are engaged in misconduct. So this is the letter that I wrote to the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. And by the way, if you want to file a complaint with the State Commission of Judicial Conduct, the easiest thing to do is to go to scjc.com, scjc.com. That's the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, and you can file a complaint against a judge. I'm not sure what the statute of limitations is, but this is what I did. I had to have my I had to have my case ready. I had to have contact people, attorneys, stuff like that. It's very easy to follow through, but then you submit it. After you submit the case, they will contact you again via email, and they will ask for additional information. So I am ready to provide that additional information. But here is the brief summary of what I wrote to the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. I am not a party to this case, but a private citizen and a media person who has been following this case since August 2019. I have appeared in the 415th District Court on 3 separate occasions. After the first hearing, Judge Graham Quisenberry threatened me, and that is on videotape located on YouTube. This video is posted online. After the second hearing I attended, his bailiff, Timothy Kane, threatened me. During the third hearing, I was called as a witness with the intent of silencing me until March 2020. Consequently, I am filing this complaint against Judge Graham Quisenberry for his threats against me and for his intentional and blatant attempt to deprive me of my freedom of speech in both my individual and press-related capacities, thus regarding, number 1, the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Number 2, Article 1, Section 8 of the Texas Constitution. Number 3, the principles set forth in the amicus brief filed on October 18, 2019 in the Supreme Court of Texas in regard to Ashley Pardo and Daniel Pardo individually as next friend for KDP, a minor, on petition for a writ of mandamus, and number 4, the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct. I personally witnessed the events on 3 separate occasions in the 415th District Court, Parker County, Judge Graham Quisenberry presiding. I have reported on the proceedings by creating and posting a number of public videos on YouTube and Facebook. My videos reported on the abusive and unjust practices I had witnessed in his court and on Judge Graham Quisenberry's refusal to follow Section 153.009 of the Texas Family Code. A playlist of the 12 videos that I have published to date is located, and I provide the URL. I have included audio recording, transcripts, pleadings, other documents, and eyewitness testimony of others, cited as below. I also believe that Judge Graham Quisenberry has knowingly permitted perjury, is an accomplice to child abuse and child kidnapping, and has deprived the defendant and his minor child of their rights under the color of law, a federal offense under 18 U.S.C. 242. I have addressed some of these issues in my videos. Judge Graham Quisenberry is aware of my videos and is seeking to silence my reporting on the proceedings that take place in his court. I am asking that the State Commission on Judicial Conduct perform a full investigation into the actions of Judge Graham Quisenberry. I am willing to present evidence and testify in person of the abusiveness that I witnessed. In addition to my videos that I have posted online, I have pleadings, transcripts, audio recordings, and the witness of others who are present to support my charges. When a judge unconstitutionally gags a reporter to conceal the abusive practices in his court and to save his own reputation, I believe he has engaged in judicial misconduct and denying justice to the citizens of the state, including a minor child, constitutes abuse. Thank you. Jeffrey S. Morgan. So this is one way that I'm trying to fight back right now. I do not know what the result of this is going to be, but I do know that I can post this online. I filed the complaint in the past with the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, which once again is part of the reason I don't have a lot of confidence in them. However, I am trying the process once again to see if they can get it right this time, if they will actually investigate the charges and look at the evidence that I have, that I am very willing to set forth before them, and to investigate this judge, and to see what type of action should take place against Judge Graham Quisenberry. I believe that if we as citizens do not stand up and fight for our rights, we are going to be railroaded and rolled over by these courts. I believe that too often as citizens, we use our constitutional protections that are guaranteed to us in a defensive manner. I believe at the same time we need to assert these things to keep these courts in check. It is a misconception and it is a fallacy to think that we have 3 co-equal branches of government. In fact, we do not. We have 3 separate branches of government, but the legislature is supposed to be the most powerful, followed by the executive, and the court, the judiciary, is supposed to be the least powerful of all of the branches. And yet somehow in America today, we think that the courts are the most powerful, at least they act in such a manner. The Constitution was not developed to protect the government from the people. The Constitution was developed, and the Bill of Rights specifically was developed to protect people from the abusiveness of government. That no matter what government does, we have the rights that are enumerated in the Bill of Rights, and we have additional fundamental rights in our Declaration of Independence that also should be considered, that the courts have no right and no jurisdiction to interfere with. We need to not only defend ourselves when we are being falsely charged, we need to go on the affirmative and to assert our rights so that the government knows that we will push back. I'm doing this very publicly. I do not know what the result is going to be. I will follow up with the correspondence that I received from the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, and I will keep everybody abreast of what's going on. I may also ask for your participation to contact this agency on my behalf once I have the details. Thank you so much once again for listening. We need to assert our rights as citizens of the United States of America. If we don't, things will get worse. We're fighting not just for ourselves, but we are fighting for our children and for our grandchildren. Thank you very much.